Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RCZ podcast, an episode I am relieved is happening because I've been quite open about my Wi-Fi issues in the past few days, but we're here. We're here, and we will be here for probably the next 45 minutes to an hour, more than likely, at the very least, to talk about a lot of stuff, talk about important stuff, talk about stuff we should be very excited about. But before getting into everything, I'm seeing the comments already. I'll respond to them all, of course. I do want to get through two things. First things first, after a few shows, the lines are open. For those of you that do want to, you can copy the link that is in the comments. This will be in the comments most shows, especially when I'm alone. You can come on, camera or not, that's up to you. And you can state your opinions about anything we're talking about, questions, and everything in between. I'm more than happy to hear all of you out, whether that's live, through the comments, or media in general. And secondly, a reminder for those of you that haven't seen it yet, we are up for nomination for the Football Content Awards. It's the first link in the description. So if you've been following for a while, if you're new, or everything in between, if you like what you see, do go nominate us for Best International Podcast. It would be an honor to represent you all in such a fun and yet such a prestigious award competition. Now, I want to get into everything, so let's get into it. Before we get into the football, I agree with this comment so much. It's so good to have the football back. But before we get into that, I want to get into the basketball. I want to get into what happened this midday. It wasn't quite morning, as we officially, doesn't get much more official than that, presented our new main sponsor, which will of course be Superbet GR, Superbet Greece, a sponsorship deal that got wrapped up before we won the EuroLeague, a deal that's going to be running until 2032. My notes are going insane. I apologize. A deal that's going to be running at least through 2032. A deal that was driven by similar goals, similar ambitions as the presidents on both ends said, as Panagiotis Angelopoulos said specifically, we have the same passion for success as the sponsors we have chosen. And of course, this is a very, very significant money conversation as well, as we are talking about a deal that's unheard of, at least in my knowledge, to my knowledge, basketball wise, that can go up to 60 million through the next years until 2032. Through the next 6 years, the deal can go up to 60 million. which means the world and then some for this club. It doesn't take a lot to imagine, to understand what a budget like that can do for a basketball organization, especially with the new franchise format, massive air coach there that the EuroLeague is going to be taking on. It's nice to not only have a sponsor that is willing to back you up in such a way financially, but a sponsor that shows, at least for a start, nothing but equal respect towards the club. And again, the sponsorship was built on respect and on ambition because, again, this deal was done before we won the EuroLeague. And I am going to swiftly, very swiftly, go on to this because I want to talk about it. Comment on the new jersey. I first want to actually understand which jersey this is going to be to fully give my opinion. And I do want to see the rest, of course. But for those of you that didn't see, it's in all of our socials. It's in Superbet socials. It's everywhere. Olympiacos presented one of the Nike returning jerseys for next season. Of course, again, for those of you that haven't seen, Nike will be the kit supplier for Olympiacos for the next couple of years. And their first jersey that they've revealed to the public along with the team is certainly interesting. This was presented as an away jersey. There is words going around that it is going to be our third jersey and not even the away one. But that doesn't change much. Of course, the difference between the jersey presented and the actual jersey will be the golden EuroLeague badge that wasn't there, that the champions get to wear every year. And that will be such a nice detail to see that golden patch on the jersey. But either way, the jersey itself, the design and everything was very Nike. I am very surprised that a jersey that's not going to be our main one is red and white. It's the classic striped red and white. But if we take examples like Barcelona, Nike really does that with clubs in general. Nike tends to take the colors and just experiment with designs. So I'm not that shocked. I did hear a comment from a good friend that this is a very Zvezda-ish shirt, and it does kind of remind of the classic Zvezda home jersey, but again, I don't really mind. It's kind of growing on me, but I really need to either go see it up close or see it in a game, which is gonna be a while. But I'm certainly not as mad as others because I've seen a lot of mixed opinions. If I had to grade it, I would kind of put it at a 7 out of 10. I think I'd safely and very cautiously land at a 7 out of 10. for that jersey. And of course, we are going to have a golden patch for the GBL as well, but we're way more used to seeing that. It's certainly a weird design. It's certainly a design we're not used to, having gotten very used to GSA, of course, but it's unique. And with the away / third choice jersey, we'll see what it is. Being this different, I am weirdly very hopeful about the home jersey. I am keeping in the back of my mind something that says that we will get a vintage jersey this year. I don't know if we will actually go on to have a fourth jersey, but with Nike's return to the team, I think they'd want to do something a bit more extravagant with all the kits. So I'm hopeful. And this isn't a bad start. I don't know why people hate on it that much. This isn't a bad start. And again, I really feel like the jersey up close will be much, much better looking. As with most jerseys, after all. But yeah, I'm landing on a very solid, very safe 7 out of 10. And we'll see. Yeah, it is. It is curious that they showed a jersey that may even be third choice, but I think they knew that the main focus would be on Jean Montero. So I think that at least with the home jersey, they want a proper presentation as the big return of Nike. So I think knowing that Montero would take the spotlight away from the jersey itself, I feel like they went with the safe choice and presented a jersey that we perhaps won't see almost ever. So I think if you go and think about it, I think it's smart marketing-wise. But again, it perhaps succeeds in leaving you intrigued for what will go on and see afterwards in more official presentations. But we uttered his name. We need to talk about it. Finally, after months of talking about it, John Montero, El Problema, call him whatever you so wish, after the man himself announced himself on an Instagram live stream along with Cody Miller-McIntyre, we can now say that they both officially are Olympiacos players. And in addition, we did learn from the owners, Panagiotis and Yorgos Angelopoulos, that we are looking for one more player that is going to cover Peters and more than likely be able to step in at the 3 as well. I don't know if they didn't want to reveal anything, but if that ideal player, and I do want your opinion on that, if that ideal player is found, and I'm not going to throw out names and act like I know anything special because I don't. I have talked about most things that I am aware of. And for those that I haven't talked about, I will eventually. Would you all be happy with one more player in this team. I would, if the team and Barzokas, most of all, deems that we're okay with a player that can switch between the 3 and the 4, I would be very happy. If the team deems that we need 2 more players, again, more than happy, as with everyone. Again, small asterisk on that. I would be happy with 1 player if no one leaves. Because, of course, the renewals were mentioned as Papanikolaou and Corey Joseph are still technically without a contract next season. Corey Joseph, we will know until Friday what's going to happen. And with Pap, I'm sure we'll know soon enough. And of course, T. Dorsey and Thomas Walkup are still in negotiations as well. The MVP on the team of MVPs, having John Montero is insane. We really went and got 2 of the best guards in the EuroLeague last season to add to the best, proven best, crowned best guard lineup in the EuroLeague. And people really think that we are going to care about what any other team does. Okay, the elephant in the room is that Pana signed Yabusele. Okay. I want to keep a more peaceful just environment live in the show. But I'm sorry. Why are people going insane? Not Pana fans. Yabu is a very good player. But we are talking about a team that's going around and picking up free agents, very good free agents, but free agents just to pick them up. Right now, as things stand, I have no clue what Pana's rotation is going to look like. And if we jump back to our side, we arguably have the best rotation in our history. And I just saw the comment. With 1 more quality addition, I think we could have the best roster in our history. I agree. Like, come on. I'm not gonna. I hope and pray that Corey Joseph stays. But even without mentioning Corey, we have Montero, we have Walkup, we have McIntyre, we have Tyler Dorsey, we have Evan Fournier, we have Kostas Papanikolaou, we have Tyson Ward, we have Sasha Vezenkov, we have Milutinov, Donta Hall, Tyrek Jones. And even when you look at the Greek pieces of this team, you have a very, very promising Omiros Negipoglu. You have Karagianidis, who is going to be a vital piece in the Greek league. And I am forgetting someone. Who am I forgetting? Help. I really feel like someone just flew over my head. But yeah, this roster with whoever the team deems necessary is unbelievable. And the most unbelievable thing is that everyone has a role. Every single person on this roster, especially even if Corijo stays, every single person on this roster has a perfect role in every single competition, led by the best coach in our history that can manage players like no other. I'm sorry, but why worry? Why rush? We need like 1.5 more players. Okay, we have a summer ahead. The team has perfect facilities and perfect people in them to look for players. We took, because we straight up took Jean Montero before we won the EuroLeague. Same for McIntyre, but especially Montero. We signed Montero before we won the EuroLeague. And do you know what Montero asked? He asked if we'll have Yoros Barjokas as our coach next season. That was his first question, and that was enough. Which is mind-blowing if you think about it. Give us the trophy already. I disagree with that statement. I've said this before. You can't win trophies with rosters. But if you take the fact that the team literally played like the 96 Golden Bulls last season, with having the burden of the lost Final Fours behind them, and now the team is even better with less stress, I arguably feel like we'll see the best basketball we've ever seen from Olympiacos. And I will stand on that statement. Easily too, with no second thought. And I think it's the best moment in our history to build a sustained run of success. It was said by Vezenkov. It was said by Coach Barjokas. It was said by Papanikolaou. It was said today in the press conference. Last year's EuroLeague was not just the end of a very painful cycle. It was the start of something insane. As Evan Fournier said, until this man retires, he wants to have led Olympiacos through the best years in our history. And there is no better chance for us to capitalize on that. To not only write what destiny owes us, but to right the wrongs of the past as well. New stadium soon, one of the greatest rosters, if not the greatest. The future of Olympiacos we see is bright. I haven't even talked about the stadium. I've talked about the stadium like once. Adding to everything we said the past 20 minutes, that finally, from like November onwards, this team is going to have the home court advantage it deserves. I'm going to knock on wood before I say this. On paper, we look unstoppable. We look unstoppable. And everyone else can go get whoever they want. and they can cry as much as they want. I am gonna keep this comment for a bit later because I want to get into the football. I want to get into preseason that started well and truly by now. We've seen more additions. We've seen Zinedine Smilovic officially be announced by the team and make his debut as well. We've seen that Jota Silva is expected to be announced soon enough as well. We've seen new faces, we've seen old faces, and honestly, first impressions, I'm very happy. And I know this is gonna seem bananas, but I am very happy with today. Sure, we didn't play any normal football. But when are we gonna see just those two 11s play together again? It's never gonna happen. We'll never see a midfield of Fanis Vakulas, Christos Philis, and Santiago S at the 10 again. That's never gonna happen. So I'm not gonna be mad we conceded or didn't play well for 20 minutes. I am very happy though to see some returns. I'm very happy to see some people get time already. And I know the first friendly, everyone gets time because the coach wants to see, of course, who he will keep, who he will sell, who he will loan, etc., etc. But I'm very happy some people got entire halves to prove themselves, to remind people of stuff. And before we get into the 11, because I'm seeing it in the comments and it's the first thing I want to mention, the captain, the beloved Kostas Fortounis, and probably my favorite player ever is back. And what we've been hearing, and also do excuse me, the allergies are kicking me down. What we've been hearing ever since it sort of was known that he will return from his club in Saudi Arabia was that, oh, Fortounis can't keep up anymore. Oh, how will Olympiacos still rely on Fortounis? He will barely play 20 minutes. It took a half. It took 45 minutes of professional football, of Olympiacos football, for Fortounis to remind everyone that he's here, and he's here to continue exactly where he left off, and a singular thing hasn't changed. Took him a minute. I will agree on that it did take him a minute to get going. But the moment that Kostas Fortounis got subbed on at the 46th minute, the game just changes. Like that. You suddenly have quality in the game. You suddenly have a reason to actually believe that there will be creative plays in the game. And Kostas Fortounis, exactly my next point. We finally have a player who can break down opposing defenses, and I will add to that consistently. At that, we have a player that can play at the 10 and at the wing, and that can do that game in and game out against any opponent. And I'm sorry, but this man already proved that he is the best player quality-wise in our roster. A goal and an assist, I don't know if it counted, because of course for the second goal, Kostas Fortounis just put in an unbelievable cross from the left. Yaremchuk, of course, did get the header, but he did hit the crossbar, and then on the rebound, he made the score 2-1, scored the winner late on, but immediate impact. And the captaincy effect of turning around even such a game. And I will go back to this comment. They are friendly matches, obviously. The only thing that matters is the players' individual performances and attitude. Exactly my point with Fortounis. Even against Rakov, the fact that the players were down until the 80-something minute, let me actually go check that, until the 85th minute. And again, in the first friendly of the season, the players could have very well just gotten fitness in and lost. The fact that they took the perfect chance, led by Fortounis himself, and they came back is a reason alone for me to be the happiest. And going straight to this one, Fortounis will play a big role this season, I believe. Oh, the biggest. There are still a lot of moves to come in. And again, knock on wood, my transfer of the season, if it happens, will still be Petar Stanic. But Fortounis is just here to continue right where he left off. Like it looks like nothing's changed. And I know that we'll see that more in the long term, but I feel like Fortounis will be a season changer, as he always has been, mind you. But solely the creativity, and because I did see this, we saw a good cross after ages. I will one-up you on that, and I will tell you that we saw a good free kick after ages. How long has it been since we scored a goal from a free kick? I think Roddy had just a random free kick goal like 2 years ago. But at the year of the double, how long has it been since we saw such a masterpiece of a free kick? Even if you leave the creativity aside, the set piece quality, I almost knocked my camera down. The set piece quality that this man will bring to the table is enough to prove him a season changer. Especially in the league. He is a leader. Kostas is a leader, so naturally he will play the biggest role this season. I am biased, as I've been many times on this show, but I don't think anyone can really disagree with me on the fact that this man will be a season changer. Before I get into Maffeo and Luis, because I certainly like Maffeo, I kind of disagree about Luis, but we'll get into it. I want to talk about another man that's returning. The man that scored the winner, the man that reminded us of what an out-and-out center forward looks like. And that, of course, is the returning from loan, Roman Yaremchuk. He is very well and truly back, and he was also a factor that was also missed last season. And I am hoping, I'm scared of that comment as well, but I am hoping and praying the man stays. The word going around is that Mehdi Taremi is going to bring an offer to the door of Olympiacos. So I hope that given that continuation, that Yaremchuk will be much more confident in his position here, which will eventually allow him to stay, because we need that man. We need that man. We need the strength. We need the unpredictability. We need what he brings to the table, because no one else does. I said that in the year of the double, and I'll say it again. Roman Yaremchuk is the perfect backup to Ayub El-Kadi. Mehdi is an amazing player. Mehdi Taremi is an amazing player. He's a legend of the sport, and no one can take that away. But it really looks like it's not meant to be here. Roman has already showed what he can do. And if it's possible, it should be deemed a necessity for Roman Yaremchuk to continue being an Olympiacos player this season. And I feel like what I'm talking about will show a lot more when it comes to the qualifiers, because this man will shine there. Now, let's get into the 11 a bit. Of course, Olympiacos started with Dimitris Tournaras under the goalposts, Maffeo, Isidoros Koutsidis, Lorenzo Pirola, Bruno Onyemaichi, Christos Mouzakitis, Lorenzo Scipioni, Chiquinho, Rodinei, Gelson, and Clayton. Certainly an interesting 11. I am more than happy to see a lot of people starting this game. Dimitris Tournaras, of course, is a keeper that's returning, and I don't think he played badly. He played very well. It was needed in moments here and then, did his job. Pablo Matteo, of course, getting a deserved starting debut. For me, okay, he had a cross that was quite unpredictable, to say the least, but he was good. As a first impression on a first friendly, when he's had like 2 days of training with the team, I'm happy. I'm more than happy. I want to give my props to Isidoros Koutsidis. The kid was immense. We've seen him with the first team before, and I'm so happy with seeing him again. He will more than likely be the 5th choice centre back, at least starting off for Olympiacos. And I think that he's already proving that he deserves the spot in the rotation so much. He's such a talented defender, and I still believe that he can do a lot for Olympiacos. Koutsidis was very, very good. There's not much to say about Lorenzo Pirola. We're in the first friendly, and this man already made a goal-preventing tackle. I hope he stays. I hope Lorenzo Pirola stays. Like, please keep this man. Bruno Onyemaichi, I am very neutral on. I have been very neutral on ever since he joined. This man has so so much to his natural form, his incredible athleticism, but sometimes he can't stop himself. I don't know if he'll go, I don't know if he'll stay, but the left back situation needs to be addressed. I think that's a given. Christos Mouzakidis, very happy to see him get a start. I am expecting more from Mouzakidis once he gets his natural form a bit more kicked off. I'm sure we will see more from Mouzakidis. I like Scipioni. I like Scipioni a lot, and I do hope he gets a major role this season in the team. He deserves it. He truly deserves it. This man hasn't let down whether he's played 90, 45, or 10. So he truly does deserve the role. Kiki needs to get his form kicked off a bit as well. I'm sure we'll see more from him as well. Roddy never fails to surprise me. Rodinei, of course, will be used as a winger this season. And if it wasn't for Fortounis and Yaremchuk, he would probably be the best player of the game. Roddy looked the best he's had ever since before his injury. He was certainly the most active player of the game. I don't think anyone can disagree. And I'm expecting a lot. We've been yelling the entirety of last season that Roddy, at this time in his career and with how he's playing, will do wonders as a winger, much more than he would do as a right back. And I think he's already proved that. He should have had arguably 2 assists or an assist and a goal this game. I don't know. I'm very positive. I feel like we'll see some insane numbers from Rodinei this season. I'm very positive. I don't know. Call it intuition, call it whatever you wish. Hi again from the incredibly red and white roads. A very familiar face in this chat, so welcome back. But yeah, Roddy impressed me, which is weird to say after how long it's been since this man has been here. But Roddy impressed me a lot. Zelson was Zelson. Like, there's not much to say there. He was very good. I say this respectfully. I think that it would be best for both parties if Clayton just brought an offer to Olympiacos and left. This man just, again, isn't meant to be here. This man tore up the Portuguese league, but again, it doesn't seem to be fitting him here. And if we don't get the best out of a player, it really is a win for both parties for him to get a move. The striker situation is very confusing, to be totally honest. But yeah, we'll see. The subs, of course, were Jobanidis for Sturnaras, probably my most hyped player in this preseason. Skiosios coming in for Maffeo, Rechos coming in for Koutsidis at the half, Carmo coming in for Pirola, Ortega coming in for Bruno, Bakulas coming in for Christos Mouzakidis, Thrylos coming in for Scipioni, Esse coming in for Chiquinho, Andre Luis, who we'll discuss, coming in for Zelson, not coming in for Rodinei, I'm sorry. Kostas Fortounis coming in for Zelson, and Yaremchuk coming in for Clayton. I do want to get into this. Andre Luiz, I think he played good for his first match after not playing for so long. He wasn't bad. His form today really reminded me of his first game, his debut. He was very active. He had the ball a lot. But what bothers me so much, and of course that will change with time as he gets more and more into form, his final decisions are nowhere. His final decisions are nowhere. He's such a quality player, but he needs to work on it. If he works on his final decisions, or it's just a matter of form, he'll be an undeniable starter here. Because he is a very good winger. But he needs to. That's my issue. Again, I'm not going to judge a professional football player. May know better. But that's my opinion on Andre Luiz. Stornara seemed anxious to me today. I think he will need time. But having him as a third option is a luxury. I don't think Stornaras was anxious. I think he just needed to get back to it. Mind you, Stornaras was playing second division football last season. He was part of that historic Irakli squad that got promoted. He was fine to me. And a play I really want to point out in regards to confidence. A ball just flies back behind the defenders and he runs out of the box to just send that ball to heaven, to wherever it goes. He seemed very, very good to me, and having him as a starting third option, because you never know, is indeed a great luxury. One more player that I did want to talk about, a few more actually. Thrylos for me was great. Sure, perhaps he could have been better in marking the cross that led to the goal, but that goal isn't mainly his fault. This man, again, we are talking about a 17-year-old. For his professional debut, incredible. In my eyes, incredible. He backed up Maffeo as smooth as you can ask. And I'll say it again, I am very happy. I will be very happy if our backup right back this season is one of our own in Yorgos Thrylos. Carmo, making his return, looks like he hasn't been gone for a day. He was very good. Bakulas and Philis, I'm so happy to see Fanos Bakulas back. Bakulas, I'm sorry, Bakulas. I've mispronounced this man's name ever since the youth league. I'm so happy to see Bakulas back from ACL, looking healthier than ever and speedier than ever. He was very effective. Again, first impressions. This doesn't say much. Christos Philis, I liked him. This man is played with a chaotic passion, but I liked how he played a lot. And what about Smailovic? I mean, first things first, I hope Retsos is okay. Because, of course, Smailovic kind of got a forced debut after Retsos had to be subbed out in the 88th minute. I'm not going to judge the man from 5 minutes of playing time. He looked ready. That's the biggest thing that I got to say. He looked ready. That's what makes me the happiest. I don't disagree, but I think playing for Olympiacos on another level, I really liked him, but he needs support to have a promising future with the team. The best support any player like that could ask for is Jose Luis Mendilibar and his staff. Mind you, again, something to point out, Avram Papadopoulos is on the staff now. You can't get more support as a Greek than a Greek legend of the club. And we don't even have to go that far. Kostadis Jolakis will take incredible care and help Sturnaras amazingly, I'm sure. We really don't have to go that far. But yeah, as I was saying, Smilovic came on for Panos Retros in the last few minutes. Yorgos Masouras got his return and looked quite active, actually. I don't know if he'll stay or go, but he did look quite active. And honestly, that's about it 11-wise. Of course, we talked a bit about the game. We had a few chances here and there. A lot of chances in the first half. Even Lorenzo Scipioni hit the crossbar, by the way, for those of you that didn't see, with an incredibly long range effort. Because it does kind of go under the radar that Lorenzo Scipioni has a rocket on him. He has an absolute rocket on him. And yeah, honestly, final thoughts, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy with how things went. And I did get a question over on Instagram that I didn't even put down as a banner here, but I do want to talk about it. In regards to the two most serial-like transfers, I agree. I don't think Masouras is on Olympiacos level anymore. Not that, but I think he's given all he has to this club. So I think he and the club both know that he needs to move on. But I just wanted to give some respect to the man and say that he does look good. But yeah, the question was in regards to Joel Roca and Stanic, Petar Stanic. The transfers that have seemingly been going on forever. I don't have much new stuff to say. I feel like Joel Roca still is a matter of details. I don't think that we really had any sort of agreement at any point. That's why I've tried to not present any sort of agreement at any point. But I still think that the man will be an Olympiacos player soon. And in a matter of Petar Stanic, I really feel like we haven't given up on this case. I don't remember I read about an offer. It's certainly lower than ours. It does come from the Netherlands. I just can't recall the team. I think Olympiacos is playing a game of tactics. And I do think I am still positive about Petar Stanic. To sum it up, who stood out the most to you today? Fortounis. Like, come on. Kostas Fortounis, Roman Yaremchuk, and Rodini. I feel like that's the three names you have to call out for quote-unquote MVP. But if I had to talk about another name, I would say Sidoros Koutsidis. Now, let me scroll back up because I do remember a comment that I promised. Here it is. The RCZ has about 3 announcements a day. there is no day in the summer where this club won't have an announcement. Or those departments, call it however you want. I do plan on doing a separate show about the RCZ on Friday before our next friendly. But I do want to go through some announcements quickly just to keep you all updated. Of course, Submaster got announced. Johanna Aguado got announced. An incredible French player that has insane EuroLeague experience. The past 3 years has won many titles in France and is probably one of my best picks for move of the season in the women's basketball department. Matija Nikolic got officially announced. As we've talked about for a while, the Serbian playmaker is a massive addition coming from a lengthy career including Crvena Zvezda. If you see me looking down, I have notes, as you've probably seen with them going all around from my fan. Lochar is back, the legendary now center forward in his second term with Olympiacos, having celebrated 2 league titles and 2 cups in the period of 2023 to 2025. Lina Andrikopoulou, the Greek Finnish opposite hitter, has officially been announced. Manolis Solanakis, the legendary captain of Apollon Smyrnis that led them to the Challenger Cup in 2023, has been announced. Also a center forward. Lola Pendande, a player that we've talked about ever since April, probably, the decorated Spanish forward / center that reached the EuroLeague Final Four with Girona last season, and of course has a silver medal with Spain in 2023, has been announced for our women's basketball department. I will comment on that in a minute. Alamanos has been announced, a former academy star of Olympiacos, defender, again with having spent a big chunk of his career with Apollon Smyrnis. Also notable about Alex Alamanos, he was a part of our youth world champions in water polo in 2018. Thrylos Kotsakis, the outside hitter, the 27-year-old, has been announced from Kifissia, if I'm not mistaken. And Lefteris Payatis, the pivot, the 24-year-old from Athinaikos, has been announced. As the last announcement from the RCZ, and I do want to comment on this, the upcoming season is insanely promising for the RCZ, and as an early call, I do want to say that we will see at least another European title come to Olympiacos next season, if not 2. If not 2. I have high hopes for the RCZ, especially volleyball. Me too. Me too. I actually have high hopes for everything. Don't write off water polo and don't write off handball. I feel like the handball department will surprise the most people, and I'm saying it and standing on that opinion. Now, after a solid hour and amazing company, I will leave the floor to all of you for some final questions. Otherwise, I am going to start wrapping up a bit. Don't forget to go to the link in the description. Vote us for Best International Podcast if you like what you see. All the other links you may need are down there as well. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It helps insanely. We are somehow at almost halfway to 550. I feel like it was yesterday where we overcame the 500 milestone. But yeah, that's about it. From me, we will see you on Friday for a special show in regards to the RCZ in general. Talk about some transfer stuff, get people more in tune, perhaps, with what's set to come next season. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next.